Babble with Ben.
This podcast is recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation. I wish to acknowledge them as traditional owners. I would also like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be participating today.
Welcome to The Babble. I'm your host, Ben Charlie Brown. MisterCo are a Melbourne-based duo consisting of husbands Oscar and Connor Absolum. In this episode, we talk about their debut album, which came out last year, called On This Journey, as well as their experience with the tour that followed. We also talk about two new exciting projects they've got coming up this year, which includes another EP, as well as their very own festival. This episode was recorded on June 3rd, 2025, at Studio C, Box Hill Institute. I hope you enjoy my podcast with MisterCo.
Welcome to The Babble, MisterCo. We have got Oscar and Connor Absolum here. And we were joking about it before, but this has been a long time coming, this session with the two of you guys.
Damn,
I think it's been what, half a year?
I remember messaging you on TikTok ages ago. Ages ago. And then, it's
but we're here.
Yes, exactly. We're here now.
Because that was just shortly before your show at the Nightcat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
So that would have been a year ago.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
Doesn't it?
And so, a lot of things have happened since then. I mean, because you guys have gone and released On This Journey. That was the release party for that album, wasn't it?
Our debut album.
Debut headline show was the Nightcat 4 On This Journey.
Yeah.
That was such a wild
That feels a long time ago.
It does. It feels so
crazy.
long ago.
And it was a big show. We were shook.
It was the first time I think we when we did that, it kind of solidified how we felt about what we were doing. We felt confident that we were doing something good and that we had something going.
I think it was our debut album, our debut show. It was the double debut.
Yeah.
So it was the first time we put on our own show that people could buy tickets to come and watch.
Yeah, because we did the birthday bash, but that wasn't.
No,
I keep thinking that was a start.
So
show. We did a birthday bash for Connor and Cameron, but that was just a birthday. That was just a birthday gig. We played some songs with the band. It was really fun, but that wasn't. We didn't ticket that or anything like that. It was just for fun. It was great.
Well, that show at the Nightcat was a hell of a debut. I remember walking in there and just going, "Oh wow, this is like Purple Rain or some sort of movie from like a musical movie." Because there was just shoulder to shoulder people. I was wearing my sort of bright blue suit, which I wear for special occasions as well, and it was like, oh man, because the production at that show was just immaculate. Like you guys must have put a lot of time into organising that. Hey,
yeah. Well, the funny story is with that show is we actually during lockdown there was a concert at the Nightcat, Alan Stone, and they allowed 100 people to come to just watch it, not the whole audience, and our tickets got selected, so we got to go watch it. And we were sitting there, this is before we even started MisterCo, and we're like, if we ever get to put on a show, we're going to do it here. And when we started planning the debut show, we went to the Nightcat and we said, look, we don't know if we're going to sell many tickets. All we know is we will do everything in our power to make sure this is an epic lineup. We're going to get a 14-piece band. We're going to throw everything at it, give us a chance, and we sold it. Yeah. We sold it out.
Yeah, and they were lovely too.
They were so supportive.
They were wonderful.
It was crazy. I remember the morning of, we sold 150 tickets the day of.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we found out that it was sold out literally before we went on stage, and we were like, what?
And that was I remember getting up in the morning and getting those messages, and we were like, oh my god, oh no, there's gonna be so many more people there.
But it was a lot of work. It wasn't just us though, it was the whole team. Like our band worked so hard with us. Like I reckon we did 10 rehearsals for that.
I was going to say, you guys,
we had James Price, Judd Selton, Alan Jarman, Stefan Samos, Ollie Ithia, Leah Margu,
Catherine Brazesi,
and Rachel Pinto.
And Amber?
They didn't perform with our band.
No, she came on.
And then we had 3 horns, which was Ruben, Christopher, and 2 horns. And Stefan.
And Stefan.
So the band was they were elite, and we were like, we've put on events before, but we've never put on a show that we're performing in. So they were really patient. and they gave us
they helped
a lot of hard work to make that happen.
100%. Like, it was a team effort, and we, like Connor said, like, we've put on events and shows before, but putting on something like this and making it so personal was pretty wild. So having everybody sort of help us explore how we were going to do the show sonically, visually, it was fabulous, and it ended up being it was one of the best nights. I feel very, very happy whenever I go think about that show and what we did and how that night went. It was fantastic.
And we got to perform every song from the album.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So we literally performed every song, and we had a bucket list of songs that we always wanted to perform live. And
there were a few covers, weren't there?
Yeah, and we thought, if this is the only show we do, these are the songs we're going to perform. So it was a bit self-indulgent, those covers, but they were great. They were great. And then after it, we just sat down and we just went, what now? And then the last 12 months from then has just been a roller coaster of, what are we doing? And I can't believe we just did that. What are we doing? Oh, I can't believe we just did that. And we're just rolling with it.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool.
Going the snowball effect, really.
Yeah.
Just rolling with it, seeing how much momentum we can pick up.
Yeah.
You've hit your stride. Well, that's a great place to be because, I mean, that gig was just mind-blowing, and so it would have opened a few doors for you, I suspect.
Yeah. I think it gave birth to the idea of doing a tour.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I think a lot of people would be shocked that even when we watch back the footage, we were like, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, even we were just a bit baffled with how well it turned out.
100%.
I guess the artists are always pessimistic. We're always thinking that
We're always down on ourselves. We're like, we can do better.
And then we went, let's tour it. So
and that was amazing.
Yeah, we worked with Chris and Anth from Cartel, and they kind of helped us kind of map out what a tour looked like. Because, again, we went, if we're going to ever tour in our lifetime together, let's do it now. Because we've done this. It was a big show. The blessing for me is my whole family is spread across the whole country.
It's fantastic.
So we literally drove from Brisbane all the way back down to Melbourne, and we stopped off at, we did some markets. We played a Wagga Wagga, which is my family's hometown, and we sold a lot of great tickets. And then we did the Melbourne show at the Toff, and we sold like 280 tickets again. And
that was mental.
It was just wild. But
that was absolutely
we
mental.
can both agree that at the end of last year, when we finished and we went away to Japan, we were exhausted.
It was a mad journey. Yeah. That was. It's funny. I think of the tour and that Toff show as all kind of like one sort of fluid memory. It was very, very intense.
Yeah, and obviously, we're working full time as well. So as much as like you can glorify what a tour is as a normal artist, we still got a bit of the tour experience.
100%.
The fun, the just non-stop go, hustle. But what people don't see is that you do a gig, you come home from your gig with your whole band around the living room, and we've got our laptops open and we're sending out emails to our clients ready for work the next day.
You've got my ob open. Yeah, send that one out. Yeah.
Got to do payroll for my staff. And like, I think that's the part of, and even our band, that's the first time I think they really got to experience both of our lives fused together. And it was a realization that you can do it, but it's hard work.
Yeah, definitely.
Hard work.
It's definitely a grind. That's
a
for
grind.
sure. And a lot of like, even I think one thing I even learned on that tour was like just the amount of work that goes into moving 8 people up and down the East Coast.
And accommodating them too. I mean, how big are your family's living rooms?
Well, we were very blessed. We had some great spaces that we stayed in. But I think the biggest thing was the amount of move. Like, because obviously you don't want to leave your gear in a car overnight. So you unpack all the drums, you unpack all the bass, everything. And then you repack the car and you drive to the next spot.
And that tour for us, we just broke even. Like,
well, you did extremely well. You did extremely well.
There wasn't a single cent made.
Yeah,
it was just literally ticking off a bucket list item in our mind, and that's why I think what's important, for any other artist that's wanting to tour, those side shows at some markets and stuff, they really help the bank.
That was the
pay
one
for your pay for your tour.
Oh, really? So more than a pub gig, more than like a
so much more.
Really?
Markets do incredibly well. Like Miami Marquetta essentially paid for a quarter of the leg.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the Toff show paid for the rest of it.
Yeah.
The
And I
Melbourne
tell you
show.
what, the Miami Marquetta gig was, we kind of went into it thinking it was going to be relatively, niche, small kind of thing. And we got there and that was a nuts.
It was packed. It was like Graceland.
It was like Graceland. There was like 600
Yeah.
people all the way to the back. There was another American band playing that night in
Yeah.
another room later that evening. So there was huge numbers of people. And I just remember getting on stage. We were so energized.
Yeah.
We were so stoked after that show. It was
Fun.
It was a
And I
great
think as well
performance.
on a tour, especially when it's your tour, like we were so lucky to have Chris and Anth as like minor management helping us navigate it. But we did a lot of the hard work. Like we did a lot of the heavy lifting. So every show, you're organising a lineup of artists. So, I think on that tour we worked with 12 other artists across the whole country, and you're DMing them and what's your door list, what's your like your bumping schedules and set times. And I reckon that was the hardest part because you're not just relying on, like the Nightcat was just us. We're just relying on our band and we had the BVs open for us. So it kind of made it better. But when you're relying on people who, aren't literally 5 minutes away, they're in another city, in another state, it's work.
And it was also
Hard work.
nerve-wracking as well. We're interacting with, other artists that we've never
Are they
met
going to
before.
rock up?
Look, we had a wonderful experience and all the acts that supported us are
They were
fantastic.
great.
They were awesome, great to watch,
Great.
great to perform with and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you're a bit nervous because you're like,
You're also not meeting them until the night.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to say, you're only meeting them at the sound check. It's a bit of a blind date, because the way people present on socials is not always the way that they act in person, right? And so it's a bit like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It's like, hi, I'm Connor, this is Oscar, we're MisterCo. Thank you so much for doing this. And yeah, you're on in an hour. But yeah, it
Here's
was
your drink cards.
But yeah, it was really good. And like, I think we've had I think, it's a reflection on who we are as people and what we put into the relationships we build with people. But we've been pretty lucky that, we've always been welcomed with such warmth and gratefulness from those around us. So
100%.
But yeah, the tour, I don't know if we're going to tour anytime soon again. I think that's something that we would definitely do in a little bit later.
I'm doing a tour bus. I'm doing a tour bus.
But yeah, it was nuts. We had 3 cars.
I was going to ask,
Three
the
cars.
actual logistics of it, because, you're not fitting a bass cab and a drum kit in a Corolla.
No.
Praise James Price. James Price is a
So
champion.
now, if he's good at anything, it would be Tetris. He
man.
was incredible.
We fit. What was it? And then Ellen and Stefan had their car,
Yeah.
our car, and
3 cars, 8 people, 3 walkie-talkies, and yeah, it was good. Like
Wild.
something like we will forever hold in our hearts, but it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. Like it's just as much work as you can imagine.
Yeah,
I would say
definitely.
But now we're here.
Yeah, and
just crazy.
and I also thank the tour for making us tighter as a band and creating an energy between all of us that really tightened everything. Like the way we perform, the way we interact, it just leveled us up and made us very, very intuitive with one another, which was fantastic.
You actually have a lot. Like we were saying this the other night that when we did the Toff show, no nerves. Didn't
Really?
care.
Yeah.
Nah, didn't care.
There were a lot of
Did
people
not
at
care.
that show. I was there.
Yeah, that's
was
how.
very
Because
hot.
for us in our brain, it was our 7th performance in 3 weeks.
Oh, you had the
So
momentum.
we knew the songs. We were so exhausted that by the end, your adrenaline is doing 90% of the lifting. You know what I mean?
You're not warming up in the back. You're just like,
No.
yeah, let's
I'll
do
never
this.
forget with the Toff. There's a photo of me and you. We're sitting side stage at the back of the venue on the floor in complete silence, just looking down, because we were so tired. Like we were exhausted.
It was, yeah.
And we were literally saying to each other, how are we going to get through tonight? And then we walked on stage and we don't even really remember the performance.
And additionally to that, I will say, and look, bless the Toff, they are a wonderful venue, that we had 3 power outages.
I remember that.
So we
yeah,
had
yeah.
and that wasn't just the Toff, the whole block lost
Yeah,
power.
it's the building.
building lost power.
Yeah.
So you can imagine it's 40 odd degrees outside. No, 35 degrees
right. Yeah,
outside,
yeah.
40 odd inside, 42 on stage. We
42 degrees on stage.
42 degrees on stage.
had the lighting guy
Yeah.
had a temperature
It was
gauge.
hot. It was hot.
We were melting.
Yeah.
That's why our band took off their shirts at the end. They were just like,
Oh,
this
yeah, I
is
remember your bass player was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we were. That was probably the hottest gig we've ever done.
The hottest gig we've ever done.
But yeah, good. Good.
Yeah.
Very, very grateful for the experiences and
100%.
happy with the growth.
Yes.
Well, it's good to have some war stories too. And as you said, it sort of brought the band together. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sort of the 8 of you against the world in a lot of ways, 1,500 Ks up and down and however many, floors and truck stops on the way. So it's
Yeah.
And I think we've evolved. Like at the start, MisterCo was very Connor and Oscar, and we had our band who were our really good friends and supports, I guess, helping us do it. Where now MisterCo has evolved into the band.
Yeah.
We value our band just as much as we value each other when it comes to the face of
comes to-
MisterCo.
yeah, 100%.
Especially like a massive shout out to like Leah Margu.
Yeah.
She is now stuck with us for hopefully life.
She's embedded in the walls of the band.
So Leah does.
Leah's backing vocals.
She's our backing vocalist, now featured vocalist as well.
Yeah, she's basically one of the 3 vocalists. She's just incredible.
Yeah,
I can't
like on the EP, which I'm sure we'll talk about, where there's one track. Every EP we do, there's going to be a MisterCo song. That's not a collaboration. It's just us, and
Our band,
Leah
and-
is one of the main vocals on that as well. And she honestly made, back on the tour, she made the tour so much fun for us. She was in our car the whole time, and us 3 had a lot of laughs.
You know, after you've been driving for like 7.5 hours, delirium kicks in. And you're like, I need some perky personality. And Leah was she was the medicine.
Especially 7.5 hours to perform that night.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh no! By the time, if you do Melbourne to Sydney, by the time I get to Goulburn, I'm just like, I can't imagine going past Goulburn and then going, oh yep, now we're going to perform for hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah,
That was crazy.
It was full on.
That was crazy.
How did you deal with that sort of exhaustion when you're on tour? Like, surely that, you
Rest where you can. Literally a lot of energy drinks.
Yeah.
Alcohol,
alcohol.
when you need it.
Yeah.
Tell you, a couple shots before a show helped get us through some shows.
Pumping water, so much water because it was also hot.
yeah.
We were getting into summer, so we're getting up to we're going to Queensland, and we had I think it was an Airbnb or something like a Airbnb in Queensland, and funnily enough, it had all these stairs, so we're just hoiking gear up in 35 degree heat.
Yeah.
So everyone was just sipping water bottles. It was just water, rest, booze.
And I think because it was our first one, we had no idea what to expect. We've never done it before. So I think the element of surprise was probably also what made it the first one easier for us, is because we didn't know. We didn't know what it would be like to pack and unpack a car 8 times. But the day after we got home, we were done.
I think we just plummeted into bed.
Yeah.
I think we slept for like 12 hours.
Yeah, we didn't leave bed for 2 days, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it was good. Good fun.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so you must have had, because I know we've got another EP coming up, but you must have had some recovery time after that Toff show, yeah?
Yeah.
The risk of burnout's fairly real with that sort of schedule.
Toff was, after the Toff, I think we had 3 to 4 weeks left of
It's a year.
Pinnacle, which is our business.
Oh, cool.
So we're back at work full
Summing
time.
up finalising the
I
year.
don't think we've got a week off work, to be honest. I think we went straight back in. We just kept grinding all the way until we went to Japan, and then the moment we got on that plane for 3 weeks, we did nothing. Disconnected from the world. I did not reply to so many messages because we just needed that break.
Oh man, and it was a great break.
It was great. We needed it.
I think it was like with how intense that like period was from the Night Cat all the way to the Toff show. What we needed when we went to Japan was just like a complete severance of everything. So we really did just turn it all off and just.
But also,
nullify it.
what a lot of people don't know, and they probably will learn through the release of our EP, is one of the songs on the EP we wrote and recorded on tour.
Oh yeah.
So we prepped that. Can't Stop the Funk, we recorded, did the music video and did the documentary when we came back from tour before we went to Japan. So we just, we knew that we were just going to keep grinding to the finish line. So we tried to steal some of the responsibilities for next year, this year, then, which was so happy we did that.
I thought we did that at the start of this year. That's crazy.
That wasn't this year, it was last year. Crazy. But yeah, and now we're on to, it's funny, we have a document called the MisterCo Project, and it's the 2023 to 2026. It was a 3-year plan. Phase 1 was that phase last year, and we did it. We actually did extra to what we imagined.
Yeah, the tour was.
And now we're into phase 2. And this phase is honestly so different to last year.
Yeah.
It feels like a completely different project.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer it. I
think-
prefer what we're doing now.
Yeah, I think we're taking the learnings of what we did with the enjoyment and the intensity of last year. We've learned from that, and with the project that we're doing this year, it's seamless. It's more. I think it's so much more fulfilling in a way. Like we're getting so many more connections out of it. There's so much more engagement that we're getting with all these different people, and we're creating some incredible stuff.
I feel like it's less about us and more about what we're doing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the focus has shifted. We loved last year. We loved the Nightcat show. We loved the tour. It was all great. But what we want to be in 10 years is not that type of artist. We don't want to be the front and center always. We really like the making of the music, the collaboration, taking in an artist and like an artist who's at the real beginning of their journey and giving them advice and workshopping with them and throwing them on an EP and seeing how we kind of form ideas together.
Bringing ideas to life is something that I
love.
We just love it. Like when we did Can't Stop the Funk with Jonathan, that was such an organic situation where we just we had him over at our place. He was jamming, I jammed a little bit. We threw it to sort of mash together this idea. Then we got Ollie in, I think. He kept adding extra layers. Then I threw it to James, our bass player, and then showed it to Ollie. And then we got in the studio. We all kind of mashed it together. And we got in the studio and it was just bang. We had this magical piece of funky awesomeness. And because we were there engaging and facilitating and sort of tossing up ideas and keeping the room hot, it led to that song, but flourishing, which I was really proud of.
And I think as well, the balance between MisterCo, which is the artist project, and Connor and Oscar as people who are husbands, and we run a business, and I'm a director of 8 people, and Oscar is our everyday sales consultant, and that's a 9-to-5 job that we do every day as well, is that we needed to shift the project because last year was not a great balance.
It was not sustainable.
You could not do that. We could not have done that again this year because something would have gave, and I don't even want to know what that would have been.
No, that would have been dicey.
Because there was a lot. It was last year, and I say it, and some people go, "Oh yeah, sure," but legitimately, it was we would wake up at 7 a.m. to get to the gym at 8. We'd be at work at 8:39, and we'd go to midnight. And that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gigging and pitching music and writing music, and it was full on. So that's why we went, collaboration was smart for us because we get to do something we love forever, which is work with other people and work with upcoming talent. We get to still perform, maybe not as much in a year, but more high impact performances, which is where we feel like we flourish the most, is on a big
100%.
stage. And we also get to have more time for us personally, and that's important. It's really, really important.
Yeah, I think that balance, we learned, that was one of the learnings from last year, was striking the perfect balance and being able to find the yin and the yang, because, like Con said, we've got a lot of extra bits to our life that we're working on at all times. And so it's one thing that we realized at the end was that we had to sacrifice a lot of our personal situation to fulfill what we were doing. And that's not great.
Our friends and our family probably suffered the most because they didn't get a lot of us. Our close friends who aren't music friends didn't see us for 12 months, your family didn't see us for 12 months. My family, they saw us because we work with them.
But we didn't it was like one of those things. We live around the corner from Connor's mum, but we didn't even see. I don't think we even saw her until the end of the year.
Didn't see her for months. So that kind of sucked a little bit, and we kind of had to take the ego hat off because sometimes as artists, you need ego, right? You need to.
You got to believe in yourself.
You've got to believe
and
that you are the
businessman
shit.
as well.
Yeah.
You've got the double whammy here of business owner and musician, and those are both things where you need self-confidence, but you also need to be highly aware of burnout.
Yeah.
And we did look. There was a period where we did actually burn out. Before we started MisterCo, we did burn out. and we stopped everything for 4 years. We didn't sing, we didn't gig, we didn't record, we had everything, but we didn't do anything because we were so spent. And so
Spent and broke.
Spent and broke.
The early days, weren't we?
Yeah.
Was this after studying? What was just before the 4 year burnout?
Yeah, so we we met in year 10, year 11.
Yeah.
So in high
Also,
school.
the story. What? Yeah. Was it? It wasn't on this journey, or was it?
Yeah.
It was
We met
in high school.
in high school at EKC's
2012. Yeah, 2012.
Is it the first song off on this journey that talks about this, or?
Yeah. On this journey,
cool.
the self-titled song.
the self-titled. Yeah. So, we were 16. Yeah, that's right. Oh my god,
That's right. Okay.
16, 15.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's done his homework.
Yeah, I know.
Even we've forgotten.
I've forgotten the
Oh,
words.
I tried to.
So we met doing a theatre production of Hairspray. I played Link Larkin, and
John
Connor was,
Waters would be proud.
Oh, he would be. He would
Connor
be.
played Corny Collins.
It was a plot twist that no one knew was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met doing that, and I used to go over to your studio down in Epsom Road, and you used to help me with, because I'd done theatre and stuff and performance, but I was a woeful singer. Woeful.
It was pretty bad. We've got the footage.
Oh, don't even
play the footage.
No, do not go online and search that. That's terrible. But yeah, no, he used to help me out in the studio, and we'd practice our songs and stuff. And then he kind of got me hooked up with a singing school in Hillside. Because after I did that show, I was like, I could do this. Like, this seems fun. And then the rest is kind of history. After that, we
left school, and I opened up my first business called Playback with a good friend of mine. So we ran a theatre company. We had a recording studio and a live sound business. That lasted not very long because it was a lot harder than what I think a lot of people expect.
Running a recording studio?
Yeah.
and an events business and a theatre company.
It was a lot. And that was while I was studying, while you were studying, we were doing that. And then when we graduated, that's when the burnout hit. And then that's when we, I guess, came out to everyone.
Yeah, that was we moved in together.
Because we were behind closed doors for 5 years before we
before
came
even
out
Mum
together.
knew. And so it was like, hey, you know this guy I'm spending all my time with.
I think it was 15 to 21. It was 6 years, which is crazy. And I think
16 to 21, yeah.
So we came out the day the yes vote was voted yes.
That was a wonderful day.
It was a wonderful day.
It was a really tense morning, but it was a wonderful
very
day.
tense.
It was a beautiful day.
I remember we were having lunch and it announced over social media, and we saw it, and we looked at each other and went, if the country just voted yes, it's a disservice to be in the closet at the moment. So let's just do it.
Yeah. That was a wonderful day.
We were blessed. Like, the support we had, all the bad things we thought would happen based on stereotype didn't. So
we're very fortunate.
Very blessed. But again, we know so many people, like really good friends of ours, that I guess helped guide us through those hard times, who weren't so blessed or lucky, and they had a pretty rough time. But we were so humble about the people we had around us. Really, really helped us through that.
Oh, it was
time.
We're I back Connor with that. Like, we were incredibly blessed with the people that we had around us and the support that we got when we came out. And I think as well, doing it on that day, it just was a moment, man. Like you really felt the love. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and it was the confidence. I feel like the whole country, like, I guess, as we were young, so. You know, the older generations we have so much respect for, because we were only really with each other for 5 years, first ever same-sex couple, and that was, you know, our experience was it was so quick, and it was
easy,
kind of accepted, you know. So we were very lucky in that aspect, but we, after the burnout and after we came out, we just spent, how funny, burnout came out, we spent 4 years on each other. So the thought of music made us both ill.
Like, it was funny. We had a little recording studio set up in our first house when we moved out. Did not touch it.
First three houses.
Did not touch it once.
No.
I actually did my job in that studio. So I was surrounded by audio equipment. Didn't touch it once.
No. It just made us...
one song.
It just made us, like, we just weren't in love with it, because when we were doing it originally, it was all for... the hoorah of it, like, oh, I can sing and look how good I am, and I want all the likes on social media, and that was kind of what the obsession was, and it burned us out.
Yeah.
And then we went and did a performance at a fire charity when we had those massive bushfires. I had a lot of family affected by it down the Hume to Wagga Wagga, so we wanted to do something, and we saw a few friends of ours were putting on this like vocal showcase
Shout
for
out
a
to
charity.
Western Arts. They
Western
put that
Arts. And then we went, you know what? We haven't sung in 4 years. Let's do it. And we did it. And that was it.
That was a good song too.
Then
I
we
wish it
were-
would rain. There's a bit of irony in that one. That was kind of like the launching.
So in a way, the burnout, we needed the burnout to relearn why we are doing this. And I think coming into this now older, wiser, and I think a little bit more, we're not here to waste time. We know what we want. We know what we want to achieve. We understand that there's a possibility that we're not going to be internationally touring artists, and we're actually really okay with that. We're okay to not even be national touring artists. We're just happy to be two people that love each other, doing music together with a massive community that we're building, and really taking Melbourne by storm and doing some really good things in our own city, because we love Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne's like, we're very patriotic to our city.
There's also like the world's a big place, but I think if you can be happy at home, there's nowhere else you'd rather be, right? Like I really love like that when we talk about the Homegrown Festival or just putting music on in Melbourne. Like I have so many fond memories of going into the city and just seeing crazy street performers, or going to nightclubs, or going to
100%.
gigs and shows, and like that's what this city's all about. And so, being able to come back into music and bring life into this scene with us in it, and put our stamp in it, and put our I don't know how to say it, like put our stamp on Melbourne as music people, is a beautiful thing and a fantastic thing. And I'm really proud of what we're doing and what we're going to do, because what we're going to do is going to be nuts.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And we're doing it.
And we're doing it.
Well, I think it's very smart to build community, because I think that building community is really the key to sustainability, right? Because if you try to do everything yourself, you really are just going to be, if you don't get burnt out, you're going to spend forever doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the why I think the whys for things is what we all should focus on a little bit more than what we usually do, because music is so time consuming and taxing on a person. If the why is fame, and you don't ever get it to what your standard is,
you're always going to fail.
You're going to feel like you failed. But you might not have failed in someone else's perspective of what success is. You know what I mean? And when we burnt out the first time, we didn't have a community. We had no one. Like, I don't think we left. I actually do not think we went on a social outing for 2 years.
We
locked ourselves in our room.
That was it.
And we had a couple mates come over every now and then, but we burnt out. Like that was full definition of burnout.
We full hermited. We did like we hermit crabbed it, man. Like, and it took a long time. I think, and again, like when you go through something like that, it takes a long time for you to come back out of your shell. But I think, like Connor said, we worked on ourselves and each other and what we wanted and what we wanted to achieve. And when we had a sort of clued together understanding of what we were trying to do or what we wanted to do, then we had the confidence to go out and put ourselves out there and put ourselves on the line.
And I think that's the difference now for us, right? Is even after we did the NICAT, the old Connor and Oscar would have went, we can't do a tour. People are going to judge us. People are going to think we're not ready. And everyone's going to talk about, oh, look how good they are going on tour. Where now our attitude is we don't care.
Yeah.
Like we actually don't care. If you don't like we're going on tour, that's fine. That's your problem. But we're going to do it because we actually want to do it.
Yeah.
And if we want to do it, why not?
And it's also like, I think there's everybody, a lot of artists, have this complex of, being judged for their music, for their sound, for this, that, and the
It's
other,
a lot
right?
of that.
And you know what? We are no strangers to that. We've copped our fair share of ridiculous comments online or weird comments in person, and
Even in person.
Yeah.
Because
We've had a couple.
man, the old joke of don't read the comments section. Yeah, there's some truth to that, but
no, man,
it's hard not to.
Oh, can I tell the thing about the TV thingy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I won't.
Just don't name names.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names or anything like that. But we
spill the tea, girl.
were getting on this thing, and a woman was she's very bizarre, but she goes, "Have you ever tried not telling people you're gay?" And I just looked at her and went, "Oh, well, no." Because because this was, this is what we want to do. This is who we are. And she goes, "Oh, you could get on so many more radio stations if you just didn't tell people you were gay." And I was like,
it's hard to tell people we're not gay when we're husbands and we're both wearing a ring.
You could
and
say brothers.
and we're singing a song tonight about our wedding day, looking at each other deep in the eyes. It's be a bit.
So, after we, when you hear that sort of thing and you just go, you know what? People don't know you. They don't know your story. So you don't need to spend any time on that judgment or any time on that commentary or anything like that. So I think for us, another thing that we're really championing is that you don't need to care about what other people think. People will come and see you for the awesomeness that you are when you show that.
And it's also like, I know for a lot of people, we speak to a lot of our friends who do music, and even we've had these conversations, like, to not obsess about the numbers is really hard because it is all numbers. How many followers do you have? Because if you don't have followers, a festival ain't going to put you on their lineup. How many streams do you have? Because if you don't have streams, Spotify editorial team is not going to play a song on the editorial playlist. Like, it's impossible. Like, you can't not think about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's where we've done really well, and I think Cartel has been incredible at educating
Hats
us
off to
about expectation. If your expectation is that, and if you don't get that, you're not going to do it. Like, you don't want to do it anymore, probably just stop doing it. Because you should just love the process at every step that you're in. And then if you really love the process, you put your heart out there, you do the right thing, you do the hard work, you're going to have more chance of reaching that anyway.
Yeah.
And
You
I
gotta
think
love the
that's
grind.
where we are, because who knows? MisterCo might end next year. It might be it. We have no idea. We go year by year. We commit a year. And then we always go away over Christmas, and we decide.
We go, was this too much? Can we keep going?
We go, do we want to do this again? Are we happy?
We happy?
Yeah, okay, cool. And then we go.
Yeah.
And I think that's for us, like, this year has been really interesting because this EP has been 5 songs, all collaborations. Like, every single song is a collaboration. We've done funk, gospel, and soul, R&B,
contemporary, adult
contemporary,
yeah,
pop, and now alternative rock. So we're going against everything you're told to do. We're not picking a brand or a sound. We're just grabbing people we vibe with and writing music, because one thing that we're grateful of is because of how hard we work, we can fund our own projects ourselves, and that's the trade-off. Because we're not doing music full time, we can't give MisterCo 100% focus. But the trade-off for that is we get to run our own business and build our own stability and security. But also, we can have these young artists jump on a song with us. They don't have to pay anything. We get to give them that opportunity and experience, which is that, full circle moment.
It is awesome.
And now with this festival, Homegrown is essentially our way to provide an opportunity for independent artists in Melbourne to perform at an iconic venue that they might never be able to perform at.
The Corner Hotel, mate. What a dream. Yeah.
I remember
Thirsty Merc.
We saw Thirsty Merc at the corner, and we were in that. It's the same thing that we did at the nightcap. We looked at each other and said, if we ever get the chance, we'll come and play here one day.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it. It's one of those full circle moments where you just go, yeah.
And the fact that we get to put on a music festival that's, again, independently put on, we've been able to reach out to businesses through our network through Pinnacle Choice, and we've had some incredible sponsors go, you know what, we back you. If you're going to fund this, we want to help you fund this. And that's been so fulfilling, is that we're not relying on people's, like, grants are fantastic, but they say no as well.
It's a lot of paperwork too.
Yeah. It's not just apply, here's your money. They apply and it's no. So it's nice to have funding and backing from people who believe in this vision without the no's.
Yeah.
It's really fulfilling, and I guess it's given us a lot of confidence to really see this through.
100%.
But to be able to walk into the Corner Hotel, put on a festival only 2.5 years into this project with a group of people that we love and adore, like Ambrea, is one of our dearest friends, and we have such faith in her talent. Aiden is an up-and-coming pop star that I tell you now, in the next 2 years, you're going to know this guy. Renee Nakari is a pocket rocket of everything.
She's diva,
She's a
disco,
mystic
Madonna
fire.
energy. She's awesome.
She's awesome. And we have Jonathan Buffalino, who's like an upcoming funk artist, which we love artists who champion genres that aren't so popular anymore. But
He was at the Toff, wasn't he?
Yes, yes,
that
yeah.
You know, a new wave of resurgence of that retro vibe
he's
music.
just nostalgia in your
We got
bag,
DJ Be Kind to Other People, who we met at a festival, and he's one of the biggest legends we've ever worked with. And DJ Swillo, who's a vinyl DJ who Anthony and Chris put us on to. Like, the fact that we get to put on a festival with these people who we know. Like, you know, we've spent nights out with these guys. We know these people back to front. We know who they are deep within, and we're really proud of it.
I think we're also so excited to bring them to the forefront. Like we, like Connor said, we believe in what these guys can do. What these artists have
100%.
got is unreal. It's unreal. And so being able to put that on a stage and say, do your thing for an hour is awesome.
Because with funding, right, you can take the easier route, which is approach established artists who are going to 100% sell out that venue. Yeah. But instead, you go the approach of finding artists that you love and adore and giving an opportunity that together we get to sell out a venue it's pretty special.
Builds more community too.
Yeah, bigger community,
Maintains
bigger
integrity,
vibe.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think musicians-wise, we've got over 35 musicians performing across the night, which
That's insane.
the scheduling already in my head is already causing me a headache.
I'm so excited to move 80,000 pedals on and off the stage.
I've only got 5 spreadsheets happening at once at the
Only
moment.
5?
Only 5 with 39 tabs every day, but we're pushing through. And, you know, we're reaching out to radio stations and podcasts like yourself and people around us that are willing to give us a platform to talk about it and try to get people kind of around it as well, because it's hard. As an artist, you're always asking people to come to your shows because you need to sell tickets, where if this is the first time we're putting on an event that if you don't come, you're going to be shattered. Like, people are going to be so shattered. They're going to look back at the videos and go, I can't believe, or you know what, it might be a festival that it's only $50 now, but in 3 years from now, could be a $150 festival.
Yeah.
And you get to miss out on the
tickets are $13 right now. $23 right now. Go and buy them.
Go buy them.
Go and buy all the tickets.
Go buy them.
No,
and it's the grind of that as well. Like, you know, a lot of people watching this right now, we apologize in advance, but we send, I'm going to say about 30 voice memos a day talking to people. You know, thanking people for their support. And I know a lot of people might get the voice memos and go, oh, it's copy paste, but we genuinely mean what we're saying to these people.
And you know what? It's not something we take for granted. I actually voice memoed someone just recently, and I don't even know who this person is. I don't know there's mutuals there, right? But I'm messaging her and I'm like, thank you so much for backing us. We've never met, but thank you so much for liking our post, showing some love and support, because that goes a long way. And
sure.
we're all a little bit
Long
vain,
way.
right? And we love to be fulfilled, and especially as artists promoting this sort of thing, we just want to feel that there are people out there going, yeah, you've got this. This is a great idea. So we really recognize that,
And
we
it's
really
also
feel
trying
that.
to, like, even with our social media, we're trying to go with an approach these days of, if we've got 2,000 followers, we want to know our 2,000 followers. We want them in the room because they're a part of this community now. And numbers, I think, sometimes get in the way of connection with the people that
100%.
are the community, you know? And it's, but it's been good. It's been, the balance issue's been better. Our business is thriving, which is great, and we're
Very
grateful. We've got 7 staff members that work full time with us and have to come to all of our shows.
They do. They come to all of our shows. I'll give them that. They come to every single show, front row. They are there spreading the love. No, they're awesome.
But the biggest change for us this year has been our company, Pinnacle Choice, has moved in to that creative hub. A massive shout out to that creative hub and
100%.
Benny and Aiden for building a new business and housing our crazy minds. But we also have Christina and Anthony at Cartel who are on the second level. So our days now are pinnacle, team meetings, execute work, client calls, sales. All right, I've got 20 minutes. I'm going to run downstairs. Hey, Chris, can we talk about the festival? So our life is now in one building, which has made it a lot easier.
Oh, so much better. So convenient.
I think Chris and Anth sometimes...
But
they get over our constant.
But you know
"Hey,
what?
help."
I love our shenanigans in that place are fantastic. Like every so often you walk in, something else nutty is going.
Yeah.
Like Benny and Aiden have changed the entire downstairs studio, and all the tables are flipped around. They're preparing for some ludicrous gig, or
It's cool.
It's a wonderful place to be working.
And I think that's the realization we've had with MisterCo is at the start it was so private about it. You know, we didn't really talk about it to public. It was like we had to keep things locked in a safe until we announced it. Where now we've realized that it takes a team to execute this project.
It takes a village.
You know, it takes Christina and Anthony, who are incredible with our management, MGM, who's our distributor, Tom Nethersole and Sarah, who are our social media team, who help edit and schedule all of our posts. And a festival alone, like all up, we've got 100 people working on this festival. From musicians to artists to crews to PR to even
Lighting
our merch
guys.
tables. Like it's crazy, but we're also so blessed that the success we've got to have in our life from a corporate level, we used to be scared to talk about it because there's a bit of a creative corporate kind of feud, I feel like sometimes in the world of corporate and creative. But we're so lucky that, you know, the sporting world isn't getting our funds. It's actually the arts that
Exactly,
we get to step back into. Because in the corporate world, I've seen many checks signed for a new football oval club rooms. And that's the one thing we said with our business is when we get to a level where we can invest into things, it's going to be back into the arts.
Yeah.
And we're doing it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
When is Homegrown? Can people can buy tickets for it now?
They can.
Fantastic.
It'll be on the 30th of August at the Corner Hotel.
coming up quick.
It'll start it'll start at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. to 2 in the morning. 10 hours. 10 hours.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's going to be nuts.
But you guys will have a ball. I'll be there too, don't you worry. I'll be there right behind that pole.
So you can get tickets at the Corner Hotel's website, our bio on our Instagram, which is MisterCo.Melbourne.
Yes, sir.
About anyone, you know, if we've reached out to you or if you've seen the ad and you're kind of umming and ahhing, it's going to be fun.
Just
One
get on
thing we'll
it.
guarantee you is that you will leave, you would have met some really cool people. You're going to make some really long life good friends there, and you're going to see some talent that like in the near future, they're going to be names that you'll see for a very long time.
I'll also add to that, you will dance. You will dance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You will
Oh.
dance your butt off.
You will dance too much.
Bring your dancing shoes.
Bring your dancing
literally.
bring your sneakers. Sketches
Literally.
only. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Yeah, but we're 3 months.
Oof. Well, Oscar and Connor, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a real pleasure. It's been a long time coming, and it's
It
just
has.
so lovely to have you both on.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, no, we
We're
really appreciate it,
so
Ben.
happy, blessed to be here.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Thank you.